Happy Friday, everyone. I sent out a message earlier asking you guys which questions from today's work you'd like to see me go over. And I got answers of 2, 10, and 11. So I'm going to take a few minutes to go over those problems. Here's number 2 now. Number 2 says 25 out of the 1,000 students at Salisbury Middle School were asked what their favorite activity was from last year's PBIS Carnival. Here are the results. Based on those results, how many of SMS's 1,000 students would you predict say that the dunking booth was their favorite activity? Okay, so they took a poll of 25 students. They gave us the results there. 12 said dunking booth, 8 said jousting, and 5 said human bowling. So I'm going to use that information to now make a prediction to how many of the 1,000 students would say dunking booth. I always want, when I do these problems, to have my probability, okay, on one side of my proportion, and my total will be on the other side of the proportion. And then I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So I want to start with my probability. Well, out of the 25 students they interviewed, 12 out of the 25 said that the dunking booth was their favorite activity. Okay, we want to take that information and figure out how many out of the 1,000 students would say the dunking booth is their favorite activity. So we're looking for the part that goes right here. Okay, so I want to start by cross multiplying. 25 times x is 25x equals 12 times 1,000, which is just 12,000. This is a one-step equation now. I want to solve for x, so I divide by 25. That cancels that out. And then I want to do 12,000 divided by 25, and I get x equals, let me move my picture out of the way here for a second, 480 students. Write that a little neater. So 480 students would say out of the 1,000 that the dunking booth is their favorite activity. Okay, now looking at number 10. Instead of doing the entire problem, I'm going to go over orange with you guys. Because when you do green, blue, yellow, brown, and red, they'll all be done the exact same way. So if you know how to do orange, you can take that number or that problem and do the same thing for the rest of them. So number 10 says, out of the 30 M&Ms in a small bag, 5 of them are orange, 6 are green, 7 are blue, 5 are yellow, 4 are brown, and 3 are red. Based on that data, about how many in a bag of 500 would you expect to be orange? Okay, they give me my total. My total is 500. My probability, they give me the information I need. Because based on that small bag that they had, okay, 5 out of my 30 M&Ms are orange. I'm going to simplify this. This is an option you always have. You don't have to do it, especially if you have a calculator, because you'll be using the calculator to multiply anyway. But I'm going to simplify 5/30ths to 1/6. That way I'm just working with smaller numbers. On the other side, I have my total, which is my 500 M&Ms that are in the bag. And I want to figure out how many of those then would be orange. I cross multiply. 6 times x is 6x, and 1 times 500 is 500, and then I want to divide 500 by 6. Okay, if you have a calculator, I recommend just using a calculator. I did this already, so I just know that x equals 83 orange. It was 83.333 repeating. We want to round up or down because we're not going to find, I mean, you may find a third of an M&M in the bag. So we're going to just round that number to 83. Okay, you do the rest of them, green, blue, yellow, brown, and red, the exact same way. Okay, you set up your proportion out of 30 equals something out of 500, cross multiply, and then divide. And that'll give you your answer. The last one we're going to look at is number 11. Number 11 says that 35% of 200 television viewers surveyed stated that they would watch the World Cup in June. How many of the 114.5 million U.S. homes with televisions would you expect to watch the World Cup? So this one, they give us a percent. They're just saying they surveyed 200 people and 35% of them watch the World Cup. I'm going to use that 35% and just multiply by 114.5 million, because that's what we're trying to figure out. How many out of the 114.5 million houses would you expect to watch the World Cup? So we do 100. Oops, sorry. Let me erase that. We do 114,500,000, because that is 114.5 million. And I want to multiply that by 0.35, which is what 35% is as a decimal. Okay, I'm going to do that on a calculator right now. That answer is 40,075,000 homes we would expect to watch the World Cup. The other way you could have solved that was done 35% of 200, which I think is 70, and then done 70 out of 200 equals something over 114,500,000, cross multiply and divide. But if I'm given a percent, to me the easiest way to do the percents is just to use them and multiply by whatever our total is. Okay, hopefully this helps a little bit. If you guys still have any questions, please reach out to me, ask any questions or whatever you need to do.